Gentlemen, welcome back to Mids from the middle of the Midwest. I'm your host, Nixon the Dark. Today, we're talking about the apex fallacy. In a recent segment where I further outlined my thoughts on how the changes in the sexual marketplace are having these massive results in American and world politics, I mentioned the apex fallacy. Today, a few minutes on this concept in case anybody's not quite familiar. The apex fallacy is this temptation that human beings have to judge an entire group by the most successful members of it. It's used a lot in red pill intersexual dynamics because it dovetails perfectly with female solipsism, another concept I mentioned in the same video. Likewise, if you're not aware, the nature of female solipsism is that women generally do not acknowledge men who they don't find attractive. They don't acknowledge them on any level. They're not human beings. They're not human beings for dating purposes, for social purposes, for economic purposes. They may exist in a very abstract notion of, hey, this is our grand, wider world, but women don't notice these men. Women walk right past them on a daily basis, and women don't factor these men into any decisions they make vis-a-vis dating or any other choice they make, including voting. This leads to the common phenomenon that a lot of red pill guys have discussed of the apex fallacy, which is when women don't notice these guys, they have this strange belief that all men out in the sexual marketplace are just getting laid whenever they want. That's why I like when you see these videos that trend from time to time on the internet about the male loneliness epidemic. Women don't believe that at all because to them, they can't envision the possibility that men could ever be lonely because to them, every man is a guy who they've been sending nudes to and have been trying to steal away from some other woman. Speaking a little hyperbolically of the kind of behavior that a lot of women engage in their early 20s, but this goes throughout their dating lives. So when they only have eyes for attractive men, alpha males, so to speak, and can't conceive of a world where those creeps are also actually human beings, they just don't compute it. It's sort of like you start speaking Chinese to them and they think it's bullshit and they shut that down immediately because in their mind they're only thinking of that last guy who dumped them. It's one thing for a woman to view life that way in the pursuit of a man. And when I mean pursuit of a man, for relationships, marriage, or just to get a baby, genetic material, as we like to sometimes reduce it to, for fun. It's quite another when you take that same mind and you make public policy decisions. And this is why we have such extreme skepticism about the sustainability of women's rights. When women make informed decisions about matters of public policy that impact them, they do not account for unattractive men. That sounds rather strange for anybody who's not studying the sexual marketplace in 2025. But for guys who know the red pill, it's something they've been talking about, at least indirectly, for 2 decades. Women don't suddenly go, well, now what's best for the United States or what's best for England or what's best for my Western democracy when I decide to vote. No, they're voting hypergamously. They're making policy decisions hypergamously. They're engaging in public debate hypergamously, which means they see the men at the top and they have emotions that go one way or another about those men and then are indifferent to all the rest. This is not a sustainable model for rights for all people because when women are engaging in any behavior in the social structure that we have, our society, it's always done through the filter of hypergamy. Keep that in mind when you see public policy discussions or even people flinging shit on the internet that when women are talking about men, they're only talking about the ones they find attractive, who they simultaneously love and hate. The ones they're indifferent towards, that 90% of all guys, they don't even rate enough to factor into a single decision that would impact them in terms of public policy. Thanks for listening. Like, subscribe, and final thought. One of the more satisfying aspects of talking about public policy from this perspective and understanding the nature of hypergamy and how it impacts the way women behave is always returning to one of these familiar themes that a lot of people find infuriating. Solipsism is genetic. Women are not right or wrong for thinking the way they do. They are evolved for solipsism. And whether they like it or not, and whether you like it or not, the sphere of life that is most compatible to solipsism is, you guessed it, the home, the domestic sphere. I know it's a dissatisfying answer for quite a few of you, but what can I say? Let's just continue to see how things play out. Take care.